Hello everyone, welcome to our video on embryology and structures of eyeball. Nature has located the eye close to the brain so that its message may be arrived there quickly. Information. The eyeball is completely surrounded by a layer of soft fatty tissues and placed within a bony orbit where eye is protected, seen from inside. The protected positions of the eyeball within the funnel shape eye stalk is shown still more clearly. Note that this is a white style called optic nerve, which connected the eye to the brain and also those muscles which is moved the eyeball. This is an empty eye stalk within the skull with its bony wall inside a bony orbit in front. The capsule of the eyeball seems to have three layers. The thick third outer layer is called sclera, several to protect the declined and delegated structure within. This transparent bulgy portion is called the cornea. There is also a crystalline lens, which is one of the main part of the human eye. The second layer is called chloride. It consists of three different zones. The first zone is called chloride propellant, and it is the part that characteristics to the tissues of eye. The next zone is called the ciliary body. This is to the broad ring shape band thin muscular fiber which play a very active and vital role in the vision adjustment of the eye. The third zone is a wall narrative which exploring and constructing the pupil much like the diaphragm of the cornea. The innermost layer of the eyeball is the retina, a very delicate membrane. The retina actually in the part of the optic nerve which transmit the light impulses our brain. The retina is the almost important complex structures in the eyeball. It consists of a complicated arrangement of rods and cones which converted light in the nerve impulses. Between the lens and the cornea is the aqueous humor consisting most of water and little salt. This largest space within the eye is filled within vitreous humor consisting chiefly of outer mixed with salt and albumin. It is a highly transmitted like substance and played a very important role of visual adjustment. Back to our topic. Introduction. The human eye is a remarkable organ that allows us to perceive the world around us through a sense of sight. It's a complex structure made up of different parts that work together to form a functional visual system. In this video, we will explore the different parts of the eye, their functions, and however they all work together to enable us to see the world. From the cornea and iris to the retina and optic nerve, we will cover it all. Whatever we are students studying the eye anatomy of eye, a medical professional, or simply someone interested in learning more about the emerging eye structures, this video is for you. So let's dive in exploring the fascinating world of the eye anatomy. The human eye is a complex and remarkable structure that allow us to see the world around us. Let's take a closer look at the different parts that make up the eye. That our first one is divided is wall of the eye. Second one is light transmitted media or refractive media. Wall of the eyeball. The coats of eyeball, also known as the fibrous tunic, is a protective layer of the eye that is composed of three concentric layers: the outer fibrous layers, the middle fibrous layers, and the innermost layer. The fibrous layer is made of the sclera and cornea, while the vascular layers consist of the choroid, ciliary body, and iris. The innermost layer is made of the retina and optic nerve. Here is showing the type of wall eyeball that is divided into three parts. First one is outer layer, second one is middle layer, and inner layer. Outermost layer further divided in two segments, that is cornea and sclera. Middle layer, also known as tonic middle or tonic vascular layer, that is also continuing, that is also part the three part: the choroid, ciliary body, and iris. Innermost layer, also known as retinal layers. Outer layer or tunica fibrosa. The outer fibrous layer of the eye is called the sclera. It is the white, thought or tough or opaque portion of the eye that covers most of its surface. The sclera provides support and protection of the eye and also helps maintain its shapes. It is continuous within the clear cornea at the front of the eye, which is responsible for reflecting light into the eye. The sclera also serves as an attachment site for the muscles and the movement of the eye. Middle layer or vascular layer. The middle layer or vascular layer of the eye is called the choroid. It is located between the outer layer of the eye, which is sclera, and the inner layer of the eye, which is the retina. The choroid is highly vascularized, mainly that it consists of a lot of blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrition to the eye. The choroid also contains pigment cells that help to absorb excessive light and prevent reflection within the eye, which could interfere with vision. Additionally, the choroid plays a role in regulating the amount of light that enters the eye by controlling the size of the pupil. In certain eye diseases such as age-related macular degeneration, the choroid can become damaged and lead to vision loss. Inner layer or retina. The inner layer of the eye is called the retina. It is a thin layer of tissue that lines the back of the eye and is responsible for converting light into the neural signals that are sent to the brain via the optic nerve. The retina contains several types of cells, including photoreceptor cells, rods, and cones, which detect light and color, and ganglionic cells, which transmit visual information from the retina to the brain. The retina also contains the other specialized cells such as bipolar cells and horizontal cells, which helps to process the refined visual information before it is transmitted to the brain. The retina is essential for vision, and any damage or disease to this layer can result in vision problem or blindness. Sclera and cornea. The sclera and cornea are both part of the eye that help to protect and maintain its shape. The sclera is the tight outer layer of the eye. It is also known as the white of the eye because it is usually visible on the outer surface of the eye. The sclera is made up of dense connective tissue that helps to protect the eye from injury and maintain its shape. It also provides attachment sites for the muscles that move the eye. The cornea, on the other hand, is the clear dome-shaped surface that covers the front of the eye. It is responsible for reflecting or bending the incoming light. As it entering the eye, it helps to focus the light on the lens and retina at the back of the eye. The cornea is composed of 5 layers, including the epithelium, Bowman layers, stroma, descendants, membrane, and endothelium. These layers work together to provide clarity and strength to the cornea. Both the sclera and cornea are important components of the eye that work together to protect and maintain its functions. The choroid is a layer of the eye that lies between the retina and the sclera. It is part of the uvea, which include the iris and ciliary body. The choroid is a highly vascularized tissue that provides oxygen and nutrients to the outer layer of the retina. It is also helps to absorb light that enters the eye, reducing reflection and improving visual clarity. The choroid is also involved in the regulation of the intraocular pressure and the maintenance of the shapes of the eye. Disease of the choroid can lead to vision loss and other eye problems. Ciliary body. The ciliary body of the eye is a part of the eye that produces the aqueous humor, which is clearly fluid that fill the front part of the eye. It is located behind the iris, the colored part of the eye, and is attached to the lens by a series of fibers called ciliary zonules. The ciliary body also play a role in controlling the shape of the lens, which helps the eye to focus on objects at different distance. It is composed of smooth muscles and is responsible for accommodation of the eye, which is ability to change the shape of the lens to adjust for near and far vision. Dysfunction of ciliary body can lead to conditions such as glaucoma or uveitis. Iris. The iris is a colored part of the eye that surrounds the pupil, which is the black center. It is responsible for controlling the amount of light that enter the eye by adjusting the size of the pupil. The iris contain muscles that contract and relax in response to the change in the amount of light and the brain signals. The color of the iris is determined by the amount and type of pigment present in the iris tissue. The retina is the layer of tissues that line the back of the eye, located near the optic nerves. It is responsible for sensing light and transmitted image to the brain. The retina is composed of several layers of cells, including photoreceptor cells, bipolar cells, and ganglionous cells. Photoreceptor cells, called rods and cones, detect light and are responsible for transmitting visual information to the bipolar cells. Bipolar cells then transmitted to the information ganglionic cells, which send signals to the brain via the optic nerve. The central region of the retina, called the macula, is responsible for providing sharp, detailed vision, while the peripheral retinal provide to peripheral vision. The retina is by a network of blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients. In some diseases such as diabetes retinopathy, these blood vessels may become damaged, leading to the vision problem or blindness. Overall, the retina play a crucial role in our ability to see, and any damage to this tissue can have significant consequences for our vision. Blood supply. The eye received its blood supply from two main sources, the ophthalmic artery and the central retinal artery. The ophthalmic artery originated from the internal carotid artery, and supplied the anterior segment of the eye, including the iris, ciliary body, and choroid. It is also provide branches to the extraocular muscles, lacrimal gland, and forehead. The central retinal artery is a branch of the ophthalmic artery that enter the eye through the optic nerve and supply the retina. It is responsible for providing oxygen, nutrition to the photoreceptor cells of the retina. The vein of the eye drain into the ophthalmic vein, which then joins the cavernous sinus, a large venous sinus located in the skull. From there, the blood eventually returns to the heart. Light transmitting media or refractive media. In the eye, refractive media have three parts: aqueous humor, vitreous humor, and lens. Aqueous humor. The aqueous humor is a clear water fluid that fills the anterior chamber of the eye, located between the cornea and the lens. It is produced continuously by the ciliary body and structure located behind the iris. The aqueous humor provides several functions, including maintaining the shapes of the eye, providing nutrition of the lens and cornea, and removing waste product, right? The aqueous humor flow through the pupil into the posterior chamber of the eye, located behind the lens, and then drain out of the eye through the trabecular muscle and spawn then a tissue located at the base of the cornea. This drainage system helps to maintain the eye proper pressure within the eye, which is important for maintaining the shape of the eye and for proper vision. Functions. If there is a blockage, the drainage system, or if the production of aqueous humor excessive in drainage, the pressure within the eye can increase, leading to a condition known as glaucoma. Glaucoma is a serious eye condition that can cause vision loss and blindness if left underrated. Therefore, maintaining the proper production and drainage of aqueous humor essential for the health of the eye. Eye drop and surgery procedures can be used to regulate the flow of aqueous humor in cases of glaucoma. Vitreous humor. The vitreous humor is a clear jelly-like substance that fills the posterior chamber of the eye, which is located behind the lens and in front of the retina. It occupies about 2/3 of the volume of the eye and is composed mainly of water, collagen fibers, hyaluronic acid, and other proteins. Functions of vitreous humor. Maintain the shape of the eye. Vitreous humor helps to maintain the shape of the eye by exciting pressures on the wall of the eye. Transmitting light. Vitreous humor play a crucial role in transmitting light to the retina, which it is converted into electrical signal that the brain can interpret as a visual image. Or provides nutrition support. The vitreous humor also provides essentially nutrition such as oxygen and glucose to the retina. Or another function is act as a shock observer. It also acts as a shock observer, protecting the eye from damage caused by sudden impact. And another function is aids in focusing. Vitreous humor play a role in a focusing light on the retina by reflecting light rays as they passes through it. And last function is help to maintaining the intraocular pressure. It's help to maintain the intraocular pressure, which is essential for the proper functioning of the eye. Any abnormalities in the vitreous humor can cause vision problem such as floaters, flashes, or diseased visual acuity or decreases visual acuity. Some of the common condition that affect vitreous humor, including vitreous detachment, vitreous hemorrhage, and posterior vitreous detachment. Lens is also known as crystalline lens. The crystalline lens is a transparent bioconvex structure located behind the iris of the eye. It is made up of layer of tightly packed elongated cells called lens fiber that are arranged in a concentric pattern. The main function of crystalline lens is to help the focus light onto the retina, which is light sensitive tissue at the back of the eye. To do this, the lens change shape, become more or less spherical to adjust the focus of the light as it passes through the eye. The process is known as accommodation, and it is controlled by the ciliary muscles located in the eye. As we age, the crystal lens may become lesser flexible, making it harder to focus on object at different distance. This condition is called presbyopic, and it is typically affect pupil in their 40 to 50 years. In some cases, the lens may become cloudy, resulting in a condition known as cataract. Cataract can cause blurry vision, glare, and difficult seeing at night, and they may require surgery to correct. Eyebrows and eyelids. The eyebrows and eyelid are important features of the face that play a significant role in protecting the eye and expressing emotions. The eyebrows are two small patches of hair that are located above the eye. They are composed of three layers: skin, hair, and muscles. The hair layer is made up of the short, thick hair that are rotated in hair follicle. The hair of the eyebrows grow in a particular direction, with the hair at the inner edge pointing upward and the hair at the outer edge pointing downward and outward. Muscles layers of the eyebrow consist of two small muscles called the orbicularis oculi and the muscles that is called corrugulator supercilii. These muscles are responsible for controlling the movement of the eyebrows and the skin around them. The orbicularis oculi muscles surround the eye and control the blinking reflex, while the muscles is responsible for pulling the eyebrows downward and inward, creating the appearance of follower. The eyelid, on the other hand, the eyelid are two thin folds of the skin that cover and protected the eye. They are also composed of three layers: skin, muscles, and connective tissue. The skin layer of the eyelid is the thinnest and most delicate skin on the body. The muscles layer of the eyelid consists of two small muscles called orbicularis oculi The orbicular oculi muscles surrounding the eye and control the blinking reflex, will the levator palpebral superior muscle is responsible for lifting the upper eyelids. The connected tissue layer of the eyelid provides supports and structures of the eyelid. It contains fibrous tissue, blood vessels, nerves, and fat cells, which given the eyelid their shapes and texture. Overall, the anatomy of the eyebrow and eyelid is complex and highly specialized, reflecting the importance of these structures of for vision, the facial expression and emotional communication. Lacrimal apparatus. The lacrimal apparatus is responsible for producing and draining tears, which are important for maintaining the health of the eye. In this script, we will discuss the anatomy of the lacrimal apparatus, including its structures and function. The lacrimal apparatus consists of several structures, including the lacrimal gland, lacrimal duct, and nasolacrimal duct. The lacrimal gland is located in the upper outer cornea of the orbit and is responsible for producing tear. The glands secrete tear on the surface of the eye through small opening called lacrimal duct. From the lacrimal duct, the tears moves across the surface of the eye and drain into the lacrimal sac, which is located in the middle aspect of the orbit. The lacrimal sac then empties into the nasolacrimal duct, which is a tube that runs from the lacrimal sac to the nasal cavity. The nasolacrimal duct open into the inferior of the nasal cavity, which is located the inferior nasal concosa. The drain into the nasal cavity and are eventually slowed and blown out of the nose. Summarized, the lacrimal apparatus is responsible for producing and draining tears. Tears are produced by the lacrimal gland and then drain through the lacrimal duct into the lacrimal sac and nasolacrimal duct. The tear eventually drain into the nasal cavity and are either blown out of the nose. Understood? Stop. Understanding the anatomy of the lacrimal apparatus is important for diagnosing and treating conditions that affect tear producing and drainage. Conjunctiva. Today we are going to discuss the only anatomical part of the conjunctiva. The conjunctiva is a thin transparent membrane that line the inside of the eyelid and cover the front surface of the eyeball, except for the cornea. Its play an important role in the protecting the eye and maintaining its health. Layers of conjunctiva. The conjunctiva is composed of three layers. The outermost layer is the epithelium, which is the thin layer of cells that cover the surface of the conjunctiva. These layers help to protect the eye from external irritation and such as dust and bacteria. Uh, Benefit the epithelium is the stroma, which is the layer of the connective tissue that the stroma contain blood vessels and helps to support the conjunctiva. Finally, the innermost layer is palpebral conjunctiva, which lies inside of the eyelids. The layer responsible for producing mucus which help to lubricate the eye blood supply of conjunctiva. The conjunctiva is supplied with blood by the anterior ciliary and arteries, which are branches of the ophthalmic artery. These arteries provide oxygen, nutrition to the conjunctiva and also help to regulate its temperature. Conclusion part of conjunctiva, that is summarized in this slide. In conclusion, the conjunctiva is a thin transparent membrane that plays an important role in protecting and maintaining the health of the eye. It is composed of 3 layers, including the epithelium, stroma, and palpebral conjunctiva. It is supplied with blood by the anterior ciliary artery and innervated by branches of ophthalmic division of the trigeminal nerve. Thank you for watching my video.